So what's up, YouTube? The last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a Toyota Tacoma 4-cylinder truck come in, and this guy has a little company, I think it's Pest Control, and it's all the same truck. So we've done a couple of the trucks for him, and we didn't have any issues because they ripped the O2 sensors out on the back side of the converter, because it has an upstream converter, and then it has a O2 sensor after that, and then it has a cleanup converter, which is not monitored. So you really don't need the rear cleanup converter. No one's really checking for that stuff. Maybe if you're in a super strict emissions area, they may. But here in New Jersey, they have no idea what's under your car. As long as the engine light's not on, they don't give a shit. So the moral to this story is, I don't guarantee that there's electrical problems past what I'm replacing. Could have a strand wire or a frayed wire, and could have an issue later on down the road. The harness could be pulled up inside the car or chassis somewhere. I don't want to be involved in chasing down electrical problems. I'm going to put the car back together, make it quiet, and plug in the necessary components that I need to plug in. So the moral to the story was, so the shop that I do their exhaust work and catalytic converter work, brought the car back after putting 2 rear O2 sensors in because there was no signal. It showed a little bit of something, but it wasn't doing anything in a waveform. So I was like, typically, in my experience, that's a broken wire or a bad computer or something like that. They didn't really want to get into it. They were short-handed. I told them, here's what I charge to chase down electrical issues. Needless to say, they didn't want to be bothered with it. So they gave the car back to the customer. The customer went to the Toyota dealer and slammed the aftermarket parts and O2 sensor and location and all that shit. So they sent them a picture of the exhaust system, what it's supposed to look like. They said that the O2 sensor was too close to the catalyst here, all right? It's possible, it's possible. So they said, we don't want the O2 sensor moved back into the stream of the exhaust back here. So I said, no problem, I'll change it to another MagnaFlow converter. I'll put the O2 sensor in the location that they want. And I redid the job, just to save face. Sometimes shit happens. Even though I didn't believe it was the problem at all. So I call them, tell them I'm done with the job. They're like, did you check the O2 sensor? No, that's not my job. My job is just to install it. If you want diagnostic work and troubleshooting, that's additional. So they get the car back, it's doing the same thing. Well, I suspected it still had a wiring problem. Even though the dealership diagnosed this car and told them that you have to change the converter and move the O2 sensor, it did not fix the problem. The problem was the wiring all along. So the shop that I do exhaust work for stripped the wire harness down, found where the problem was, fixed it, and lo and behold, it was perfectly fine. So my original work that I did on the car was fine. The second work that I did on the car was fine, and the dealership was wrong the whole entire time. Keep in mind, I got paid diagnostic time. They replaced another O2 sensor. So your dealership's not always God. Sometimes there's God found in your local repair shops. Thanks for watching.